What's up, guys? It's Blu-rayDave, and I finally saw Infinity War last night, guys. It was beautiful. But at the same time, it got very emotional, because it's like, it was so unexpected. I kind of guessed this would happen in a way like this in this movie, so I'm going to give my full review on it. But just to be clear, this is a spoiler warning, so if you guys haven't seen the movie, please go check out the movie first and then come back to this. I like Hizzy's reviews better, how it should have ended. So, let's get started. Okay, so obviously, I have a new girlfriend now. Her and we watched it. Still, the film was amazing. We both loved it. But, let's get to the very beginning. So, it immediately picks up right after Thor Ragnarok, But you gotta remember, after Thor Ragnarok came Black Panther and then Infinity War. So, yeah, there was the attack from the Black Order. And I thought Tom Hiddleston was gonna have, like, a bigger part in this movie, just to be, like, a big help. I had no idea they're gonna kill him off. But, however, we all seen him fake his death twice. So if this is the third attempt, we could probably assume he might come back in part 2 next year. And of course, Thanos, here he has the Power Stone, he came for the Tesseract. Thor mentioned, like, he got last week, yeah, he went to Xandar, but what day of the week, I don't know. And, I thought Thanos was going to power punch Hulk back to Earth, but Heimdall did it. And guys, I thought I was going to see Korg and Valkyrie. I don't know what happened. Heimdall was the last guy we saw from Ragnarok, and then they killed him off. And then, of course, Thanos uses the Power Stone to make the whole ship explode. And of course, this just hit to me, like, this 2 years thing, this 6 years thing. Like, Tony, he mentions that Thanos has been in his head for 6 years. So, did Doctor Strange get the timeline correct? Again? Because if you remember 6 years ago, 2012, that was when the first Avengers movie came. And of course, I liked how they referenced how Thanos sent Loki to get the Tesseract, and, because that was his mission. Loki completed his mission, of course, yeah, Thanos killed him off. And in the last 2 years, there's been a lot of mentionings about 2 years. Are they talking about 2016, about Civil War? Or will part 1 take place next year, 2019, and they will say 2 years ago meant 2017. I don't know. Like I said, the timeline is very confusing now. But Kevin Feige did promise all of us that he would give us the official timeline for these movies. And I had to explain my mom about the ending and all this stuff. Of course, we got to see Pepper. That's a good thing. And of course, we got to see Ned again. He's funny. How he stalled a lot of students in the bus, and then Peter had to get out. And of course, Bruce Banner arguing with the Hulk, like, trying to get him out, but he couldn't. Man, we were laughing so hard, guys. Even the Guardians of the Galaxy, oh my gosh. This was so funny. Like, the very beginning, we see some of them singing, and then it was just hilarious. And then, of course, Thor, he goes on their windshield, and I had no idea he was going to open his eyes. Of course, they woke him up, and I liked Star-Lord's Asgardian impression, and I like how Thor's like, "Are you mocking me?" And Star-Lord's like, "No, are you mocking me?" And, guys, I had no idea Thor was 1,500 years old. He's way older than the Avengers. And honestly, guys, there was this part, they pulled off this thing, they pulled a Mighty Med. Because if you remembered in Mighty Med, how, there was a bad guy, he was in prison, he had an eye and he took it out. of course he has to put it back in, but Rocket, he gave Thor an eye, and then Thor put it back in here, and it was just all like wobbly, and he's like, this thing is not working. And I liked it how Thor kept calling Rocket Rabbit. That was pretty funny. And of course I had no idea they were going to bring this little guy, because we've seen this little guy before in the other movies. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but I know him from the movie Elf, Underdog, Pixels, whoever movies he came in. He was the one, I think he was like a guardian of like the Dying Star weapons. That was pretty cool. And I don't know, I got somewhat lost in where they say Thor might die, and then Groot, Teen Groot, he just had to chop his arm off to help finish the new axe. And I'm like, this is some pretty cool Star Wars references. Just chopping off hands. The Wakanda battle, that was so cool. And guys, remember my Vision theories, like how he turned into a human? Well, I didn't know he could transform into a regular human. And he transformed back into his like original form, I guess. But then he got stabbed a few times. And I really liked the love connection between Vision and Scarlet Witch. Because, you know, they both came from the same stone, the Mind Stone. And finally, we got to see the Soul Stone, guys. And guess who made a big appearance, guys? We all wanted this. We haven't seen him since 2011, since the very first Captain America movie. The Red Skull finally comes back. But I guess in CGI form, and I'm not really sure if that was really Hugo Weaving, because he was the one who played Red Skull in the first Captain America movie, but wow. I was really impressed. I almost cried. I shouldn't be crying over for villains, but, you know, it's just what it is. But, you know, he was explaining to Thanos how he could get the Soul Stone, and then he killed Gamora. Okay, sure, she's called, like, the child of Thanos, but I liked the backstory. And I liked how Thanos was putting, like, a knife on here, like, there were two blades, and he was, like, perfectly balanced, and he was teaching her. And, of course, the Guardians go to the Planet Nowhere, where the Collector, like, where we last saw the Collector in 2014's Guardians of the Galaxy. And, Gamora, she was the first one to attack him, but guess what? Thanos already got the Reality Stone, and he made it look like the place was still perfect, you know? And he's like, I knew you still cared. And then she was crying, and then, I did not like this one part where Gamora was asking Star-Lord if, like, when Thanos takes her away, Star-Lord has to kill her. But then, as he pulls the trigger, bubbles come out. And I swear, I thought Drax and Mantis almost died because he used reality. But nope, they came back. Of course, Thanos took her away anyways. And I loved the fight between Star-Lord versus Iron Man. That was so cool. And I liked how Thor and Rocket and Groot went back to Earth, and Cap and Thor were having a little moment. Like, Cap's like, I see you got a new haircut, and Thor's like, I see you got a beard like mine, and don't worry, that's my new friend. And Groot's like, I am Groot. And then Steve was like, I am Steve Rogers. But, yeah, some characters died because Thanos snapped his fingers. I mean, he was in an alternate reality, I guess, when he did that. Like, he saw little Gamora, and then he went back, and then Thor's like, what have you done? I mean, Thanos is right. Thor could have gone for his head, you know? And then some characters died. Most Avengers lived, and one Guardian survived. And this is Groot's second time dying, guys. We know that because, remember in the first Guardians, like, you might say, like, oh, Rocket's acting like this because he thinks this is Groot's first death. No, that was Groot's first death in the first Guardians movie. And we get to this movie right here, and this is his second death. And Peter, like, Spider-Man is just, oh my gosh. Now we all know, guys, what he meant in that Comic-Con footage when he's apologizing to Tony. And of course with Doctor Strange, his time thing, he was like meditating, I guess, and he might have gotten a glimpse, or like he might have seen the future, like, or a vision, I don't know. And of course at the end we see Thanos, like, I don't know, I thought when I saw a house, I'm like, is that Hawkeye's barn? But then again, I'm just like, wow, Hawkeye and Ant-Man aren't even in this movie. Because they did say they're gonna do something about the Accords, I don't know. But you gotta remember, guys, Ant-Man the Wasp is gonna be a prequel to Infinity War. So I'm gonna guess here that Ant-Man is gonna create, like, well, he's gonna shrink all the way down, maybe create a black hole, I don't know, reverse time without a stone, and then just bring everybody back. And of course, the post-credit scene. I guess this is back in New York, and we see Nick Fury and Agent Hill. Agent Hill disappears. Then Nick Fury, and he almost dropped an F-bomb. This is like a Spider-Man Homecoming moment, you know? And then he was saying a transmission, but do you know who he was saying that transmission to? Captain Marvel, because it showed her symbol. Her movie is going to be a prequel too. After Ant-Man the Wasp will come her movie, and then after that one we'll go straight on to part 2. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend about this whole Marvel timeline, because she doesn't know Marvel much, and she doesn't watch them much, and I don't blame her, because, you know, I understand she likes simple movies, you know, but I guess she likes watching them with me now, because I guess she wanted somebody to watch them with her. I told her I'll give her a list. But guys, I had a great night last night. Our very first date. It's pretty cool. If you want a video about me talking about how she's my girlfriend, let me know in the comments down below, and maybe like her and I together we can make a video on that. It's not gonna be in school though. It could be here, in my house. She's really nice, very kind, and, you know, just, she's very nice to people, guys. She looks up to people, too. I mean, she's basically a blessing to me, guys. I don't know, like, you know, I've been praying to God, like, will I ever have the right partner, and he chose her for me. And I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful that God gave me her, because she is the best. And guys, I'm going to be dating the right way, guys, the Christian way. Don't be assuming I'm just going to be making out with her and doing all that stuff that, you know, adults do and immature teenagers do. No. I mean, yeah, she is uncomfortable with that too. Like, other teenagers just think they could do whatever they want, but no. Her and I, we're just going to keep this relationship simple. I mean, obviously we're going to see each other every day at school. We always hang out during lunch, and it's pretty cool. Alright guys, that was my review talking about Marvel's Avengers Infinity War Part 1. If you love the movie as much as we did, please let me know in the comments. And, yeah, just tell me what you think about the movie. Alright? You guys know what to do. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, bye-bye. Lord be with you guys. Always love you guys. Peace. Love you guys.